Tonight on CFTK-TV News, local reaction in Prince Rupert as Walmart closes for good, more on the new Prince Rupert emergency room, and sentences are handed down to the Wet'suwet'en land defenders.
Northwest BC's only television news team. We are CFTK-TV News.
Hello and thanks for joining us on this Monday, October 20th, 2025. I'm Jaylene Matthews. The newly renovated Prince Rupert Emergency Unit opened with cultural pride and heartfelt celebration, bringing together local leaders, Indigenous elders, and youth for a ceremony rooted in healing and tradition. CFTK-TV's Helen Asante has more.
The opening of the renovated emergency unit in Prince Rupert wasn't just about new walls and equipment. It was a moment of renewal for the entire community.
We can always live together in harmony, no matter where you're from, no matter what your nationality is, no matter what tribe you belong to. We are one.
Traditional Indigenous dance performers set the tone. Followed by a ceremonial blessing from elders and healers using sage and cedar boughs, a powerful symbol of cleansing and protection. The mayor, in high spirit, highlighted not only the importance of renovation, but also the investment behind it.
What the Northwest Regional Hospital District is, it brings together the communities across the Northwest, all the way over to Houston, to Haida Gwaii. And together, we represent the taxpayers who fund 40% of the capital project costs. This was a $16.5 million renovation. You, together in the Northwest, if you owned a home, on your tax bill is a line item that says, there you go, there we go, there's one right there. So there's a line item that says Northwest Regional Hospital District. You put $6.6 million towards this $16.5 million project. So congratulations to you.
The ceremony ended with a healing song, performed for all those who are grieving and in need of comfort. CFTK-TV News, Helen Asante.
With the closure of the city's Walmart, residents of Prince Rupert are being forced to find alternatives. CFTK-TV's Kel Maslin reports.
Back in late September, the Walmart location in the city of Prince Rupert permanently shut its doors. The store initially was closed down temporarily back in July due to what Walmart said was concerns for the safety of their associates and customers, and it was only a couple of months after the sidewalk alongside the Rupert Square Mall partially collapsed. But Walmart next stated that they then conducted a larger review of that location, and they concluded that the best course of action was to completely cease operations. And questions remain about what kind of effect this closure will have on Prince Rupert and its surrounding area. Prince Rupert Mayor Herb Pond pointed out how disappointing it is to lose a major store like Walmart, but he remained optimistic about the city's future and ability to adapt.
It's a setback. Losing a major employer and retailer like Walmart is certainly a setback. We've been taking some great steps forward, and it's always a little frustrating when you take 2 steps forward and you end up with 1 back. But that's all it is. Walmart played an important role in the community as an employer and as a retailer. Someone will fill that gap, and we're working with a number of possible retailers now that we think might fit the bill.
As for what some local citizens thought, one person was not happy with the closure and had some ideas on what should have happened instead.
It's not all right because Walmart should have been expanded. It should have been bigger. Where they built Walmart, it used to be just a big garden. And now that you see it's falling down, that's sad, yeah.
But another one believed that there might be some good to come out of the closure as well.
Well, initially a lot of people are going to miss their low prices and such, but I believe that a lot of the low prices that in the other stores will come back because the Walmart actually drains a lot of that. They do a lot of purchase and then nobody else can have any.
Although now anyone from Prince Rupert looking to specifically go to Walmart will have a harder time getting to a location since the next closest store is in Terrace, which is about an hour and a half away by vehicle. And since not everyone has the means to get there, Mayor Pond also brought up some other closer by options that Prince Rupert residents might turn to in order to get their shopping done.
There's a lot of choices in town still. Places like the Bargain Shop. There's Shoppers Drug Mart carries groceries. Not a wide variety, but there's some good pricing on those things. So if you kind of hunt around, what was nice about Walmart, it was all in one spot. If you go down to Home Hardware, down at the basement of the mall, you'll find that they carry a number of household items that I think people might not expect to be there if they haven't been in a Home Hardware for a long time. So as you move around the community, there are other outlets. There's a lot of great small retailers as well. It's certainly a challenge, and we look forward to having that spot filled with somebody else.
For CFTK-TV News, I'm Cale Maslin.
The Houston and Smithers RCMP detachments have teamed up to ask for help from the public to find a wanted man. Devin Christopher Fuller is from Telqua and is wanted on multiple warrants for a variety of alleged offenses, such as breach of probation, mischief under $5,000, assault with a weapon, as well as break and enter. Fuller's description is that of a 39-year-old, 5'10" and 181-pound Caucasian male with hazel eyes and brown hair. He's believed to be somewhere in either the area around Smithers or Houston, and anyone who has information relating to his location is asked to call the Smithers RCMP or the Houston RCMP. 3 Wet'suwet'en land defenders were in a Smithers courtroom Friday to be sentenced for their roles in opposing the Coastal GasLink pipeline construction, which ran through Wet'suwet'en territory. Friday's sentencing technically included jail time for the 3 accused, 17 days in jail for Slato, 12 for Jocko, and 9 for Sampson. Less time already served in custody, with a further reduction of 2 to 5 days for acknowledged violations of their charter rights. However, the judge suspended the implementation of those sentences and ordered the defenders to complete 150 hours of community service rather than serve time behind bars, save for breach of recognizance in the next year. In explaining his decision to suspend the sentences, the judge said he took into account the province of British Columbia's and the government of Canada's disrespect for the rights and interests of the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Amnesty International, who was in attendance at the sentencing, still described the decision as a chilling message, with America's director saying they never should have been arrested in the first place. A post from the Gibbetim checkpoint stated, "We are all excited about this precedent-setting decision and all that it encompasses."
We couldn't have done it without all of you. And it feels really good today to not be going to jail. And I just can never, I don't think that there's ever going to be words to describe the amounts of love and support that I feel today, and the love and support that I felt every single day through this whole fight. That it just really isn't about me, it's not about us, it's not about anybody, it's about all of us. And I just felt that on day 1 of court when so many people showed up, every day of court that everybody's shown up, every day of reoccupation and building on the INTA, every day of blockades where people just came out and they showed up.
Coming up next, Canadian living attracts an American researcher. BC's government is proposing changes to its energy rules that would force companies from certain industries to fight for access to a set amount of power. Rather than the current first-come, first-served structure, the government says the new policy would prioritize natural resource and manufacturing projects, while artificial intelligence, data centers, and hydrogen for export projects would have to bid for their power. The changes tabled by Energy Minister Adrian Dix would also make the current ban on cryptocurrency connections permanent. The competitive process for AI and data centers is expected to be launched in January, with 300 megawatts of power for AI and 100 megawatts for data centers available every 2 years. The legislative changes would also enable the expedited construction of the North Coast transmission line, which has an updated price tag of $6 billion for the first 2 phases. Construction of the 450-kilometer line between Prince George and Terrace is expected to start next year. One aspect of these divisive times in which Canada is finding gains is in the recruitment of talented American doctors, nurses, and now researchers amid our healthcare shortage. CTV's Avis Favaro reports.
Last day, Penn Medicine Cancer Center.
This is cancer scientist Wes Wilson.
Very close to the border.
As he leaves a prestigious position in the U.S. for Canada, among a steady flow of scientists who are fleeing uncertainty and anxiety around science and medicine in the U.S.
People are talking about Europe. People are talking about Canada and Australia. It's a weird situation right now.
And he's among the first 25 scientists recruited by Toronto's University Health Network, which raised $30 million for salaries and lab space to lure talent north, including Canadian-born Wilson.
To have that secured funding, to know that this work is going to have an impact on patients was a deal breaker.
He'll be continuing his work on CAR T cell therapy.
Every little bit counts,
to treat cancer, along with using AI to uncover new therapies.
Without someone who knows not only the medical part of it, but also the biological, but also the AI, is absolutely essential. And so Dr. Wilson fits that bill exactly.
The hospital says over 600 researchers from the U.S., Europe, and Canada have applied, with 75 more positions being filled in the coming months.
The best and the brightest are absolutely interested in coming here. What's keeping them from coming here are opportunities and funding. Because when we've made this funding available, we've seen massive interest in this.
The reality is that few Canadian hospitals and universities can fundraise for programs like this, and Ottawa's support for research and development has been dropping since 2020. Canada is now second last among G7 countries. And studies confirm innovation creates new industries.
We found that every $1 you put into research and development, you'll get approximately $5 back in return. And that goes to jobs, that goes to products, that goes to businesses across Canada.
And so with proof that Canada can score a brain gain, scientists will be watching to see if Ottawa also invests more in research to make this country a science destination. Avis Favaro, CTV News, Toronto.
The federal government and 2 First Nations have jointly announced the establishment of 3 marine refuges along BC's north coast. The Haida Nation and Fisheries Minister Joanne Thompson say 2 marine refuge areas have been formally established in the waters near the islands of Haida Gwaii. The Kitkatla Nation says it has also jointly established with the federal government a 3rd marine refuge in the area of nearby Banks Island, and the refuge is home to corals, kelp forests, and seagrass that are important habitats for rockfish. All 3 sites have been established under an initiative meant to increase Indigenous-led marine conservation efforts on the West Coast, while also advancing reconciliation. And now we'll take a look at your Northwest weather report. Tonight on the north coast, expect rain, about 10 millimeters. Winds from the southwest at 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50. Temperature steady near 9 degrees. Over the next few days on the north coast, expect clouds and rain along with some wind to continue for the week. Tonight in the Terrace-Kitimat area, expect periods of rain ending late this evening, then cloudy with a 40% chance of showers. Winds from the south at 40 kilometers an hour, gusting to 60. Temperature steady near 7 degrees. Over the next few days in the Terrace-Kitimat area, expect showers and rain to continue, maybe a little wind tomorrow. Daily highs 6 to 8 degrees, overnight lows between 2 and 7 degrees. Tonight in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, it's looking partly cloudy. A 30% chance of showers this evening. Winds from the southwest at 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50, a low of +1 degrees. Over the next few days in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, expect a mix of sun, clouds, and showers for the week. Daily highs 6 to 9 degrees, overnight lows between -1 and 5 degrees. Turning to your highways around the Northwest now. On Highway 16, there's construction in Prince Rupert with a detour in effect. Also maintenance, utility work, and construction work underway. On Highway 37, watch for maintenance as well as bridge construction. On Highway 37A, there's a section with falling rocks as well as bridge maintenance and construction work. On the Niska Highway, there's mowing underway. And this is what the roads were looking like this afternoon around the region from the view of the province's highway cams. Still to come, an encampment is unceremoniously dismantled in downtown Toronto. The issue of encampments popping up to shelter the unhoused is nationwide, and in Toronto, some are disturbed by measures taken to manage one. CTV's Camille Carmali reports.
These are what the people here once called their homes, an encampment in Toronto taken apart and torn down Thursday, one that was right outside Reverend Maggie Helwig's church.
What do you feel when you look at this fencing, these cinder blocks?
Very sad, very angry.
About a dozen unhoused people she considered family over the past 4 years, living in tents in the church courtyard, but technically on city property, until Toronto Fire Services deemed it a fire hazard.
City staff moved in and they were kicking people's belongings around and tossing stuff, really not respecting the fact that these were homes.
Those who live in the area have a different view.
My opinion is that it's better that they cleaned it up.
Telling us about drug use, thefts, and a fear for their safety.
This place was an exacerbating condition that bred a lot of rats.
Now, new Nanos polling done for CTV News found the public is divided when it comes to communities declaring states of emergencies to clear homeless encampments from public spaces, with 57% saying they support or somewhat support it, while 37% say they're opposed or somewhat opposed to it.
Barrie, Ontario declared a state of emergency just last month, while Edmonton called a homeless emergency last year, removing thousands of encampments.
We have 5,000 people every day that are homeless in this city, more people than we had before. So clearly the camps are not the problem. There's something else that's the problem.
The problem appears to be a lack of affordable housing. Ottawa has announced tens of billions of dollars to affordable housing programs over the span of a decade, but homes can't be built fast enough.
It's going to take 5 years from the ground up to actually build those.
For Reverend Maggie Helwig, it's a sign encampments are needed until more housing is built.
I would really ask people to remember that these were human beings who lived here.
Human beings she hopes one day can find a home. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
BC Forest Minister Ravi Parmar says it is time for Ottawa to speed up the distribution of $1.2 billion earmarked for Canada's softwood lumber industry following an announcement by Prime Minister Mark Carney in August. Parmar says BC is ready to help forestry workers who deserve the same treatment as forestry workers in Ontario after the federal government announced it will contribute $12 million toward a $29 million package to help keep a paper mill in Northern Ontario open. Turning to the stock markets now. The Canadian dollar had no change. The price of gold was up $160. Oil dropped 22 cents. Natural gas was up 41 cents. Aluminum was up $14.50. In Toronto, the TSX was up 308 points. The Venture Index gained 18 points. In New York, the Nasdaq was up nearly 311 points, and the Dow gained 516 points. Still ahead, a heist fit for Hollywood. Millions of people have celebrated Diwali as lamps illuminated homes and streets across India to mark the Hindu festival, symbolizing the victory of light over darkness. Many shoppers crowded markets to buy flowers, lanterns, and candles as they celebrated Diwali by socializing and exchanging gifts. Hindus believe the deity Lord Ram returned after 14 years in exile. People light earthen lamps to mark his homecoming. And what's known as one of the most secure and protected museums in the world has had a massive breach as thieves pulled off a serious heist. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio reports.
This morning, police continue to search for the suspects behind the movie-like heist at the Louvre. Officials say several people disguised as construction workers broke into the world-famous museum in Paris Sunday, cracking open display cases and stealing jewelry that once belonged to Emperor Napoleon and his wife. Officials claim thieves targeted 9 pieces of jewelry and managed to steal 8, including necklaces and earrings.
We're now in a race against time. The criminals are going to try to hide what they have just done.
Officials say at 9:30 a.m. local time, 4 people disguised as construction workers used this mechanical ladder to access the second-floor balcony of the museum. 2 of them using power tools to cut into the Apollo Gallery, where Napoleon III's crown jewels were on display. Authorities say they moved efficiently, using small chainsaws to open the display cases. The suspects also allegedly threatened security guards, who then evacuated the museum. Now, police say they're investigating this video obtained by BFM TV they believe shows one of the suspects appearing to try to access one of the jewelry cases.
I can tell you that I've been to the Louvre before, and it's top-rate security. This is a bold plan, and sometimes bold plans work because they are just so bold.
Authorities say it's a race against the clock, with concerns growing about what the thieves might do next with the priceless jewels.
The fear is that it gets broken up and sold because a consumer will have a very, very difficult time telling that, hey, this emerald came from, say, a crown.
Officials had warned about understaffing at the Louvre, which is home to famous artwork, including the Mona Lisa. An estimated 8.7 million people visited the museum last year. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
That's our news for now. For more local news, check out CFTK-TV.com. We're also on YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, and X. Thanks for watching.